Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Mind Care, a podcast brought to you by MindPath Care Centers. MindPath is one of the largest outpatient mental health organizations in the Southeast U.S., with over 25 locations and more than 180 providers. For the past 25 years, we have helped tens of thousands of patients across North Carolina, and now we've created this podcast to further commit ourselves to ending the stigma and continuing the conversation around mental health through discussions with real mental health professionals. Please note that while the podcast will include accurate information with professional input, it is not intended as a replacement for medical advice from licensed providers. To receive such advice, please contact MindPath Care Centers at mindpathcare.com or call us at 877-876-3783, and we will connect you with a professional who can further assist you. We hope you enjoy the episode. All right, welcome to Let's Talk Mind Care, a podcast brought to you by MindPath Care Centers. My name is Trent Brown. I'm one of your hosts for the podcast, and I'm here with Ellen Manier, who is a Psychiatric Nurse Practitioner in our Asheville office. So Ellen, Ellen has a vlog and a blog called Mood Food with us, where she teaches about how cooking things and how cooking different recipes can improve your mental health and really just affect the way you see the world. So, Ellen, I'm going to let you take it away and talk about your background and how you got to doing Mood Food.
All right. Hi, everybody. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity to continue talking about my passions, which are, mental wellness and culinary arts. So I really appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Yeah.
Some of my earliest memories and my fondest memories are from when I was about 5 years old. Standing on a chair in front of my grandmother's stove. Yeah, that was really super safe. But anyway, she was a fabulous cook. But I would stand in that chair and watch magic happen. It was exciting to see the individual ingredients transform into a meal. And she let me be really involved even at that young age. I remember loving to stir that pot and knead the bread, roll out cookie dough, and all that was so wonderful for a child to experience. But then the best part for me was after making this beautiful meal, we would all sit down as a family and really spend hours around the table talking and laughing, and it was just wonderful. So then when I got older, I became interested in a career in culinary arts. So I went to Johnson & Wales University, graduated summa cum laude in 1998, and worked in some amazing restaurants in Charleston, South Carolina, and up here in Asheville, North Carolina. And then when my husband and I started a family, working in kitchens, I guess, became a lot less appealing with the kind of hours I had to keep career. So my brilliant mother, who just happens to have her PhD in nursing and was a nursing professor, she talked me into going to nursing school. And so she said it would be better health insurance and much more conducive hours for a family life. So off to nursing school I went, where I was immediately drawn into the psychiatric nursing from my very first job as an LPN. And I continued to work and go to school, got my RN and then my BSN and then my master's degrees in nursing.
Yeah.
But all along that way, I was working full time, and I coined the nickname. Now I didn't coin it. So, a friend of mine gave me this nickname, Chef Nurse, a coworker, because whenever I heard that somebody was sick or if there was a birth in the family, a death in the family, I would go deliver a whole freezer full of food to them so that they could nourish themselves.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that nickname.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's important to be nourished when you got a lot going on, so I became the chef nurse during that time. But yeah, I never lost my love for food. I was raised around that family table, and I wanted my kids to have that experience as well. So I taught them to cook when they were young, and I definitely noticed that when my kids were involved in the cooking process, they would try just about anything that they created.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I can tell you, I just started cooking a lot, got really into cooking last August, I think, and it has been an awesome experience. I mean, I it's one of my favorite parts of my day, definitely, and I've noticed that I feel a lot better, um, after I cook instead of just going to pick something up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I can see how all of that could really inspire you to combine everything together.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so glad you started cooking for yourself. And that you made that connection that it made you feel better emotionally when you
Yeah.
created this meal. Yeah, I remembered thinking that there had to be a way to marry these two careers have had, and to make this unique little place for myself and within the realm of the psychiatric profession. Something special to offer my patients in addition to medication management. I believe that all aspects of food, from the ingredients chosen to the preparation of the food itself to the sharing of food, all of that can have a positive impact on one's mental wellness. So
Yeah, yeah,
well,
absolutely. So oh, go ahead.
that's how I got started.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So something I wanted to ask, one big part of mood food is not just the recipes, but the neuroscience part, which, full disclosure, I am the one who edits Ellen's videos, so I spend a lot of time with them when she sends them to me, and I love the parts talking about, how it actually affects the brain. It's super interesting to me. So, could you talk a little bit about that, about the science of it and everything?
Oh, sure. Sure. I'll give it a go. The science behind the mood food can be pretty kind of dry when you read like the evidence-based research articles,
Hmm.
and kind of hard to understand. So I like to think of things in terms of culinary because it makes sense to me. So there are these things called neurotransmitters. There are chemical messengers in our brain. Serotonin is a big one. Serotonin is a good example of a neurotransmitter. But this chemical in our brains, it helps us to feel happy and calm. And when I was learning about neurotransmitters in school, it was fascinating to me that they are made from nutrients. So basically, the food we eat provides the building blocks or the ingredients for a
Hmm.
neurotransmitter. And
Yeah.
each one of these chemical messengers in our brains needs its own recipe of amino acids, vitamins, minerals to be synthesized. So it's pretty cool to think that you can have an impact on creating of neurotransmitters just by being conscious of your diet.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So tell me, a little bit more surface level and more talking about, the therapeutic side. How can cooking, affect your emotions, and how can it be used kind of as a therapeutic technique?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one too. And we touched on that a bit before when you were talking
Mhm.
about how you felt calmer after
Yeah,
you
yeah.
cooked for yourself. Because cooking a meal can be, oh, it's just wonderful in terms of therapy. It's very grounding. It can help you center yourself when you're anxious, just by paying full attention to the task at hand. What you're doing. Um, and hey, if you're chopping up a big pile of onions, uh, and nobody's going to come by and ask you why you're crying, so you need to let out some emotions that way. No, but seriously, no. If you have a task you can perform with your hands right in front of you, like chopping vegetables for a soup, it's really you kind of forget your troubles that are around you, and you're focusing on what you're doing. So that's it can be a good distracting technique. It gets you away from your troubles for a bit.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So you talked about this a little bit earlier, talking about your family and everything, but can you kind of tell me, that's something that I'm really interested in, with me and my fiance, and when I go home, me and my family, how can cooking kind of provide connection to yourself and the people around you?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. One of my pet peeves it has always been, if I go out to a restaurant less frequently, I guess over the past little bit here, but
Hmm.
I used to go to restaurants and see a family of four all sitting around the table, each on their individual cell phone devices. So I definitely recommend putting away the electronics.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and take the opportunity that a shared meal provides, for conversation. That opens up so many avenues for you've created a meal maybe together, and you sit down as a family and share the meal and uh, focus on each other. And it's just a great opportunity to open up that line of communication. So, just like at those memories from my childhood at that family table, not all those conversations were not all were great. Some
Mm-hmm.
were difficult, intellectual, uncomfortable, or even silly. But the pathway for communication was around that shared table. There have even been studies done about families who eat together have better overall emotional health. In fact, my very first mood food blog on the Mind Path Be Well blog is about the family table and all the benefits you can gain just by sitting down together at the table. So.
Yeah. I have read that. Yeah, you're definitely right. So my mom is a very big cook. So I grew up super lucky eating Southern food all the time.
Hmm.
My mom's fried chicken is a reason I have many friendships because I'd bring friends over and they would just fall in love with how good the food was.
Yum.
Um, yeah, I mean it's amazing. So, but something for Mother's Day, on this topic is I went back home and I told my mom for Mother's Day because my mom doesn't like presents very much. I said, "How about me and my younger sister just cook food for you this weekend?" Um, and I don't think there could have been a better present. I mean, it was her and my dad were just so happy to kind of just sit down and watch me and my younger sister. Get things done and
Right.
just work around in the kitchen. So I can attest to what you're saying.
What a gift! What a gift for them to see that you care enough to uh, create that space for togetherness and deliciousness, especially if you're serving fried chicken. Yum.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you this: more on the cooking side. If
Mhm.
you and I think I know what the answer is going to be because you've talked about it a little bit on one of your video blogs. But if you could only have three ingredients that you could tell everyone to always keep at their house, what would they be?
Okay, yeah, I have been asked that question before. So, kale, I can't say enough good things about kale, because it contains a bunch of folic acid. And when you're talking about the science of mood food, folic acid is a very necessary ingredient in the building of serotonin. So,
Oh, okay.
kale for sure. I like garbanzo beans. Beans are really good mood food too, and I need to do more video blogs about those.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely garbanzo beans are very versatile. You can do just about anything with them. And my very fave would have to be dark chocolate, at least 70% dark chocolate. Gotta have it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I can co-sign on the dark chocolate.
Good for
um
you. In
s-
moderation.
yeah, well, yes. Sometimes.
Mhm.
So tell me kind of on that same topic, is there a recipe that you would like to share, if you want to go through the steps or
Oh,
however you want
wow,
to do it?
okay. Going back to one of my top three ingredients, I do, this is also on our the one of the video blogs. This is the toasted chickpeas. Super easy. It's you don't even need a recipe for it. You take a can of chickpeas, drain them, rinse them in a colander, dry them off on a kitchen towel, and then you spread them out on a sheet pan with sides on it. You don't want those little suckers going rolling all over your kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So you put them on a sheet pan, a little drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, some salt and pepper and whatever spices you like. You could take that to any country you want to. Do a curry version, do a southwestern version. Sprinkle a bunch of spices on it. Throw it into a hot oven, about 400 degrees. About 15-20 minutes, shake the pan, and you got an awesome snack that's good for your body and your brain.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I will make sure to include that in the description for this
yeah,
podcast.
yeah. It's in the link to the exact recipe. I kind of
Yeah.
pulled that out of midair.
Yeah,
That's kind of
absolutely.
cooking is, you can experiment with these things, and a recipe is just kind of a starting place, and you can put your creativity into any recipe you read. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to share that link.
Yeah, absolutely. I will include that in there. Well, Ellen, wrapping up, is there anything else that you'd like to share? This has been really awesome.
Oh, thank you so much. I just really appreciate the airspace and people are interested in this kind of thing because I do believe that it all works together to improve your mental wellness. You do all of the stuff. Uh, Between medication management and therapy, and using some of these other techniques that really improves overall mental health. And
hmm
we all need that right now.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think it is awesome. This is another, I would say, like building block. You have all these things that kind of help you out, whether it be therapy or cooking or something else. That when you put them all together, it makes things awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you so
Yeah.
much, Ellen, for joining us.
You're so welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. So this has been the Let's Talk Mind Care podcast. Thank you all for listening.
Thanks. Bye.